Now, the Senate today began questioning directors of the national carrier Kenya Airways, which shocked the country with its 26 billion shillings loss. The directors were today hard-pressed to explain why the board rejected an offer from a South African company to buy 4 of its old fleet that were lying idle at the airport. The directors said despite the airline making a loss of $1.6 billion through a contract for the supply of jet fuel in 2014, other airlines globally were affected under similar arrangements. Well, Patrick Amimo has the details.
The national carrier Kenya Airways recently made history when it announced a record 25.7 billion shillings loss after tax. This came against a backdrop of an ongoing investigation by the Senate on challenges facing the airline. The airline's contractual arrangement for the supply of jet fuel has been identified as one of the contributing factors for the huge loss. The airline pays $80 for a liter of jet fuel. But the directors defended the arrangement.
I've read in shock articles in some places which suggest that we've lost 15 billion shillings on hedging, which is simply not true. Over the last 5 years, we've actually made 2.7 billion shillings.
2014 to 2015, a 1.6 billion loss simply coming out of the hedging.
Even though our hedge on average is about $90, irrespective of how low the price goes down, we only pay a maximum of $20. And that's how come we're only paying 1.6 billion. We could have paid a lot more money if we did not have this structure in place.
It doesn't really make any difference whether we pay Shell or whether we pay Goldman Sachs. The fact remains that we are paying at a higher price because of the fact that we hedged, which is just, call it bad luck, call it whatever you want to call it, but the 1.6 billion remains 1.6 billion. Is a loss irrespective.
Absolutely right, Chairman. 1.6 billion in 2014-15 is what we paid Goldman Sachs, correct? The $20. However, because the price has come down in the market, instead of paying the 80 that was a hedge, we are now paying the market price. And because the market, now the relationship with Shell, because the price has come down, we actually saved 4.8 billion shillings. But the net impact, therefore, is that we have an operating saving of 4.8 and a financing cost of 1.6. So the net cash flow impact is positive 3.2 billion.
Can you just explain to us what kind of arrangement you enter into with Goldman Sachs?
You get into a contract with Goldman Sachs that basically says that we as Kenya Airways will pay $80 for fuel, irrespective of what the cost of the fuel is in the market.
If you look at the Delta accounts for the end of December, Delta made a significant hedge loss for the end of December 31st. And what Delta did, in their wisdom, because they have balance sheet cash, they bought out all their hedges because they've taken the view that going forward, the oil prices will stay at the current level.
All airlines had hedged at levels similar to us. All airlines have taken a hedging hit. I can confirm that we are not allowed by antitrust laws to disclose the exact detail of our hedge book.
Kenya Airways directors, however, found themselves in a tight spot over the board's decision to reject sale of 4 Boeing 777-200 Embraers to a South African firm that had agreed to buy the fleet at a cost of $322 million US. The aircraft are now lying idle.
The understanding of the committee is that you advertised that you wanted to lease out the aircraft that you currently have yourselves. And you wanted to lease them out, and you advertised for the same. And you got an offer, which is public knowledge, of $322 million US from a South African outfit, which you refused. You then advertised, and the aircraft, yes, you're paying for the aircraft. You then advertised again, and this time round, you got a lower offer of $200 million, I think for 2 or 4 of the aircraft. I can't remember. You can explain all that. But my issue with it is it correct, is it true to say that KQ has got aircraft that are lying idle?
We did get an offer for $322 million for this aircraft. And the book, the loan value then was about $150 million. So we were going to generate almost $200 million of additional cash flow. We identified a potential partner in the sale and leasing who happened to be a South African company. and it was in fact approved by the board. So when we went back to the market to identify somebody who was going to buy them outright, we have had offers, and currently we are finalizing with the offers, and the best offer so far is actually $185 million, and that's what we're negotiating with the best offer in the market.
You knew you were going to buy Dreamlines anyway. So why this? Please, I don't really understand it. It's not a very convincing explanation, let me say it.
The market value is affected by various factors in the market. When we went to the market earlier on the 777-200s, the 787 had not flown. And there was a lot of doubt from the wide-body community whether the 787 would ever fly. So there was a huge demand for 777-200s. This time around, when you've gone to the market, the 787 has proved to be very popular.
Would you say that it was a serious mistake in June 2013 of not accepting the offer that was given of 322?
We were going to make $180 million cash flow. We were going to spend $80 million on refurbishment. So in terms of the net impact was $100 million into the kitty. In terms of the fact that we are still paying the lender today is cash neutral, because whether we had done the lease or not, we'd still be paying. Today we are paying a bank. If we had done a lease, sale and lease back, we'd be paying a lessor. So we are paying $1 million a month. The same $1 million we'll be paying to the lessor is the same $1 million we'll be paying to the bank. In fact, the lease payment would have been slightly higher.
So they've been in use up to May this year. They are now awaiting sale. They're sitting on the ground. We have used them only on charter opportunities.
Apart from posting a 25 billion shillings loss, Kenya Airways is also facing serious strategic problems in its human resource department. The plan by the airline to have a refinancing of 60 billion shillings is also facing stiff opposition. Patrick Abimo, KTN News, Parliament.